Hi, Body of Evidence students. Congratulations. You've been accepted to be some of the first participants in the Body of Evidence pilot program this spring, May 28th and 29th. So if you're watching this video, you've received an email from us, and you'll know that there are 5 important things that you're going to need to do to participate in Body of Evidence. So you should have received a document like this attached to the email that we sent you. It's going to look just like this, only instead of Dear Student, it's going to say your name right there. So let's go ahead and take a look at the 5 things that are mentioned in this letter that you're going to need to do to participate in Body of Evidence. So the first thing you're going to need to do is you're going to need to print out the cadaver viewing parent letter. Let's go ahead and bring that letter up. Here it is. And this is a letter to your parent or guardian. And it talks a little bit about what you're going to be seeing in lab and why this is going to be an important experience for you. It's signed by Dr. Hannah Antrodoki. She's the lab coordinator that you met at the Body of Evidence orientation. And we're going to need your parent to print their name right here in this space. And they're going to need to print your name right here. And then your parent is going to need to sign on this signature line right here and then put the date. Okay? And you're going to need to bring a signed copy of this cadaver viewing parent letter to the first Body of Evidence session on Thursday, May 28th. The second thing that you're going to need to do is you're going to need to print out the cadaver respect agreement. And this is also attached to the email that we sent you. So let's take a look at that. So here's that cadaver respect agreement. And it talks again a little bit about the lab. It talks about the people who donate their bodies so that we can study them, and what a wonderful contribution that is to our education. And again, it's signed by our wonderful lab coordinator. And you're going to need to print your name on this line right here, and then you're going to need to sign this document right here and date it. And you're also going to need to bring a signed copy of this document to the first day of the Body of Evidence program on May 28th. Okay. So let's go ahead and take a look at point 3. So you are going to need to wear lab appropriate clothes to the lab. So what is lab appropriate clothing? Well, lab appropriate clothing is going to be some kind of pants or skirt that covers your ankles. So full-length jeans work, slacks are fine, but shorts or short skirts are not okay, right? So it's got to be something that covers your ankles. You're also going to need to wear a shirt that covers your shoulders. So for instance, I've got a tank top underneath my little outer thing. So I can just go ahead and throw on a little hoodie or something like that over, and I'm all good. Or you can wear a t-shirt, that's fine as well. Now I recommend bringing a hoodie or a sweater or something like that because it does get a little chilly in the lab. And then the last thing is you're going to need shoes that cover your feet. So no sandals and none of those little ballet slippers that leave the top part of your foot uncovered. It's going to need to cover your whole foot. Now the thing is if you don't have lab appropriate attire, we cannot let you into the lab, and that would be really terrible. So please, and we'll give you a reminder call before lab, but please remember to wear shoes that cover your feet, a shirt that covers your shoulders, and then pants that cover your ankles. Okay. Now the fourth thing that you're going to need to do is you're going to need to complete a pre-lab assignment before you come to your first lab. This should be a pretty easy assignment. I didn't want to make it too intensive. What you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and take this link, post it into your internet browser, and you're going to listen to a short podcast. It's about 20 minutes long. I don't know if you've ever heard of Radiolab, but it's a Radiolab podcast. It's pretty interesting. You're going to listen to this, and while you listen to it, you're going to take notes. All right? And then you're going to answer the questions that are below. So let's go ahead and talk about those questions. So the first question is, scientific discovery depends on experimentation. That's how we figure out how things work. So I want to know what kind of test subjects were used in this podcast. And what I mean by test subjects is what kind of things or people did we do experiments on? Okay. And then the second question here is, what kind of experiments were performed in this podcast? So there's going to be a few different experiments that are described. And so I want you to tell me a little bit about what were those experiments? What did they consist of? What was the trial that they did? How did they conduct the experiment? And then the second thing I want you to answer is, we often talk about science as if it provides all the answers to our questions. And I want you to tell me, what is one example from the podcast where scientists didn't know the answers? Or maybe they knew a little bit about how something worked, but they didn't really know why it worked that way. Okay? And there's a few different examples in the podcast. Now, the fifth and most important thing for you to do is to show up, well, let's highlight the most important part, to show up on time to the Body of Evidence sessions. So again, this is going to be Thursday, May 28th, and then our second day is going to be Friday, May 29th. Both of the lab sessions are going to be from 1 to 4 p.m., and they're both going to be in the science building in room 2103. That's the anatomy lab, and that's going to be on the second floor of the science building. So if you need any help with directions or anything like that, feel free to just give us a call or shoot us an email. All right? So we're really looking forward to seeing you at the first day of Body of Evidence. I'm really excited about these labs. I think we're going to have a great time. Just remember to print out your cadaver parent letter, your cadaver respect agreement, and bring signed copies to the first day. And remember that first day is May 28th. That's the Thursday. Remember to wear lab appropriate clothing. And remember to have done your little pre-lab assignment. All right, you guys, I'm really looking forward to seeing you again on May 28th and 29th. I hope you have a wonderful day.